Hi, I'm back with Mama in a Minivan, where I share nervous system regulation tools to support your brain, body, and biome while I'm doing the Uber mom thing. And this week, I want to share my own experience, big reminder of why it's so important to organize and regulate our nervous system. So last Wednesday with a big ice storm, we lost power at 9 o'clock that night. I was home by myself. My husband and daughter were up north skiing. I don't really feel confident with setting up our generator. It's just one of those ones you pour gasoline in. But I knew the next day my husband would be home and he knows how to do that. And I was thinking, great, we will definitely be set back up by tomorrow. So he came back, did his thing, and turns out our newer furnace that's highly computerized, highly sensitive, doesn't like our older generator. So while we had electricity and our refrigerator was running and all of that, our furnace would not work. Now, thankfully, my studio space attached to our home, the furnace, the smaller, less computerized furnace, was just fine. So we had heat out there, which was great, but no heat in our house. So I got a bit discombobulated, and I know that it's because I was trying to figure out every day what we were going to do, where we were going to be. And one night our daughter spent the night with friends because it was so cold at night. One night we did a family pajama party in my studio. One night we finally got a hotel room because they were all booked up. And I just felt so ungrounded. I felt just really off my game, and more so than we've had power outages before. So finally, after doing a few minutes here and there of nervous system regulation, a few days in, was like, okay, I got to go deeper. I got to really reset myself. So I set aside some time. I had that warm space in my studio, and I didn't say I'm going to take 45 minutes or an hour. I just said I'm going to let my body and my mind lead me to how much I need, what I need, because I'd like to do what's called a work-in, and it can be a meditative work-in, or it can be more vigorous, get my heart rate up, get some strength work, or a combination of the two. And it turns out I needed a combination of the two. I was missing moving my body and didn't want to get out with the ice and necessarily be walking, although I have my yak tracks, but I was just so cold from our house being cold and going in there to do things that I didn't want to go outside for a walk. Anyway, I was doing my work-in. It probably took an hour and 15 minutes, which felt great to just let my body lead me to how much I needed, what I needed. I needed integrative movements. I needed to move through the same-sided, the homolateral movements, to get into some of the frustration and the stress, and then to come back to the contralateral oppositional movements to integrate my brain, my body, my heart space. And it was such a huge reminder because I went into the work-in experience that I gave myself with no expectation of what I was going to do, not being in a practitioner mind that, oh, I think I need this or I need that. I just went through and I muscle tested, and I had other ways of checking in with my body as to what I needed. And when I did the movement and the work, oh my goodness, I felt so much better. And I was like, why didn't I do this like on day one or day 1.5 or whatnot? It was halfway through the second, or maybe the beginning of the third day. I don't know. I lost track that I did it. And I'm just grateful that I did, because it really helped me to feel resilient, it helped me to feel clear-headed, like I could think and strategize about what we were going to do from day to day. And I'm just grateful for the reminder of how effective it is. So I have lots of videos on my YouTube channel where you can learn some of the quicker tools that I use. You can also go to my Inner Resources free gift, and I'll teach you the PACE and the fear paralysis reflex and midline connection work that I did as the little reminders. And then after I did the full work-in, I would go back to those just to kind of refresh and keep me connected to a sense of groundedness and clarity of mind and heart space. So you can access those at the link in my bio. I'll also put the information down below. And those are ways you can discover the tools that I'm speaking of that are so helpful. And remember, I know many of us are still processing and trying to move through recent events in educational systems and in the world where violence and senseless loss has happened. So you can grab my free Moving Beyond Fight, Flight, Freeze in the schools. if you're looking for support in that way. I hope you have power in your environment. I hope you feel empowered in your body and your mind and your heart space, and have a great start to the week.